Okay, I'm going to just walk you really quickly through some of the basics of the admin console. I always laugh because we really keep it very simple, so demos tend to get boring fast since there's not a whole lot to show. So I'm going to show you Medford's admin console, and they might have a little bit more than you guys use, but as I mentioned, we build the admin console for you. So you might have more elements than they have or less. It just depends on what you need and how you need the system set up to work best for your processes. So for example, we would build out that Twitter, Facebook, feed update for you to be able to kind of select the meta and the image and everything for your Facebook post, and you would have that, and none of our other clients would, except unless they wanted it, because that's actually a very interesting thing that I'm surprised nobody else has asked for. And that's one reason why we love our admin console, because it grows with the needs of DMOs. So enough of the salesy talks, and let's get down to it. Okay, so let's talk about the database of accounts. So here we have accounts and leads, and it's called accounts and leads because sometimes our clients, they sell meetings and groups and things like that, and so it kind of falls under here. So let's look to Hawk. I'm just going to look at one of their um, I thought it was called 2Hawk. Oh, 2Hawk. Okay. So this is just one of their accounts. So then when I go into edit, this is where we keep track of their name, their phone number, their website, their address, all that good stuff. If accounts have multiple addresses, you can keep those all in here, so you only have to have one account for each address. And then I'll show you how Medford kind of handles the multiple accounts, but we could handle it in many different ways. This is just how they prefer to handle it. I'm gonna find one, hopefully. Probably should have looked for coffee and tea. Okay, I think Dairy Queen. So see here it says it has multiple locations, view map. So I'm just going to click on here, and then it loads up all of the locations that are Dairy Queens. So that's how that works. And then this is where you can keep your contacts, whether they have a media person or the owner or whoever it is that you might be in contact with at their business. And then this is where you would keep track if you have sales events. I'm not going to go into that because it's kind of its own animal, and if you guys don't use it, then I don't want to waste your time there. But if you do, you would use the sales part to, sell big groups that are coming to your place, then we can walk through this. This is where you can create tasks if you have talked to them and you're supposed to follow up with them to update their information, or you have a meeting with them or anything like that. You can also keep notes in here about it, and these are private to you, so if you need to say I talked to them but they never respond or anything, so you can keep kind of a legacy of that, and so you can create multiple notes with dates and kind of just keep track of what you've done there. This is where you can keep track of all of your different attributes, so things about the account. Medford, their kind of thing is to have very little information and just try and push people directly to the website to get more information because they don't want to be tracking everything. So this attribute you can actually build out on your own. So if you need to add a new attribute, you can just do that through the system, and I'll walk through that really quickly. So here's where you keep track of all of that information. And then this is where we work with what displays on the website. So Medford has two description fields, and that's only because we ported in all the information from their old site, but they didn't like how long the things were. So we just added them a second field, and this is what we populate the website from, and this is only for legacy data. So you would not probably see this. Then we have this nice imaging system, which I will show you on a tester account how this goes. And then this is where we work through with the categories. So this is how we decide where an account is displayed on the site. So 2Hawk has only winery displayed. So when we go over to the page editor, any page where we select to show the category winery, then 2Hawk would show up. And so this can grow and change based on the data points that you need to keep for your accounts. And we just kind of walk through everything that you have in the system and everything now, and then what else you might be missing that you would like to track that you can't. And then we add that in here and build it out for you. So this would be your database of accounts, and it would be your system of record for all of your accounts and listings on the site. Okay, then we have the site content, and you see they have a couple different areas, and what you have here will depend on what you need. The most used area is the pages. So these are all the pages that Medford has on their site, and they don't actually use a kind of tiered, they don't have any drop downs in their system. So let me show you, maybe visit tuolumne.com so you can just see here where it says, you know, things to do, and then this drop down system. That's why you see them kind of layered like this, because that's how it appears in a drop-down system if that is the navigation you choose to have. So let's just look at a page really quick, and I'm going to look at one that is a listing so that we can see everything at once. So it's very easy. Page description, that's what you see on the other screen. Browser title, this is your unique SEO title that you would fill in here. The header text is what appears right here. That's your H1, that's also an SEO field. Then this will kind of meld and change based on what you need, but most everybody has at least a content one. And let me see, so here in this case, content one appears here on Medford's site. And then this part will change dramatically based on our design. So in this case, Medford has the option to feature accounts, to have different sidebars, to feature a video, to have a content hero image, to have page filters and all these things. So this was built out basically because of how Medford's design is. So this will change based on how your design lays out and what elements you need to change. But this is where I was talking about the categories. So here, this is the artisan food category. So when we look at the artisan food page, these are all the accounts in our system of record that have artisan food as the tag. And then what we try to do with the categories is keep them consistent throughout our photo system and our file system and our blogs and our pages and our accounts. That way, if you want to build an artisan food page, you can say, you know, I want to build an artisan food page. I want to show images from there. I want to show videos from there. I want to show these brochures, and we can pull those all based on the category. So that's why we really try and keep all the categories consistent as a way of helping you organize your data and making it easier to build pages that are dynamic and that can show users a lot of different types of content. So Medford has a lot of categories, so their list is kind of long. This is another option that they have, which is not used here, but this is one way that we can build out their featured content. So I'll show you on here. So these featured blocks, this right here is how you assign those. You can give it a title, then you select what page you want to show. They have different color schemes for different category types. So sometimes it's green, purple, yellow, and so I'll let them do that here, and then sort order so they can move. You know, in the winter, if Crater Lake if they want it to be first, they can move those kind of around here. And then here's where I was saying are the other SEO fields that you can work with, and we expand these based on what you want to be able to edit also. Most people just use the description. Keywords, having the meta keyword field is not so much an SEO tactic anymore as it is just a way for you to organize your SEO thoughts. Search engines don't really use the meta keyword field as much as they used to do. So the most important things are the meta description, the meta title, and the H1 tag. So all of those things you can manage here. And like I said, if we did need to add anything else, we would just add a box and then you just type in whatever it is. You don't have to do any of the coding part. Dusty does all that for you. So then they also have some event displays on certain pages. So I'll just show you what that looks like here. So you can say this here is populated by this. So on the artisan food page, if we check food, then the artisan food page would have these featured events at the top of it. And that's how all of our system is organized, so that we have lots of different elements that you can work with, and you can pick and choose which ones you want to show on which pages. So it gives you a lot of latitude to make pages look different and make them engaging, and we try and keep it really simple. So like you see, it's just check, 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 enter, 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 and you have your page. So I'm going to cancel all of that. Then the other thing I wanted to show you was the photos. And it might actually be easiest if I do it through one of these pages. So let me go here. Let's just say I want to put a featured image on this page. I select replace the featured image. I select OK. Then I'm going to choose a file. Oh, I lied. This one has not been updated yet. Let me go over here. Let's search for an inactive account. Okay. So I'm going to add a image to this account. I select add account, image, and then maybe none of these are the ones that I want. So let me upload an image. I'll just upload an image of this dog for now. My image appears here. And then I need to crop it. So these are the different crop sizes that they use on their system. So we preload all of those for you. And then this in green is telling me that this is the crop that I need for the image that I've selected. So I press OK. And it actually lets me zoom in, zoom out. This image is probably not the best one because it's kind of a weird size and it's small. But you can do all your zooming. You can move it around until you get it where you want it. So let's just say I want it to mostly be this dog's head. I press Save Crop, and then it's cropping it for me. And all of the images that are uploaded, you can upload a high-res image, you know, a 10 megabyte image, and when it gets uploaded, the system automatically optimizes it for online, so you don't have to worry about sizing it down or cropping it or anything like that before you get it in the system, because you can do all of that in here. So now that I have my crop, I'm going to press select photo, and then once I save it up here, then I see now I have this image for the account. And then so all of the images work that way, and then when you go to kind of your photos, This is where you can sort by tag, which we have all the tags that are linked up with the categories from the account. So we can tag, we can make folders, and this can kind of become your warehouse for all of your images. So that you don't have to use a Dropbox or anything like that. You can just use this, then you have everything on the site and in one place. Then we also have the same type of system for files. So you can upload files, Word docs, Notepad, anything that you need. So you can use this system as kind of your data asset management system so that you can access these files on the go because the system is all online. So everything you'll always have access to, no matter if you're in the office, out of the office, you can have everything right here. Then the last thing I'll show you is really quickly is our articles pages. They are like a blog, but we've brought it in-house to kind of eliminate some of the vulnerabilities of WordPress, make it a little easier for us to manage and for you guys to create. So I'll just show you one real quick. It looks very similar to the page builder. Where you put in the title, you put in your content, you put in a featured image, you can put in a header image. And these things again will kind of differ depending on what the final design turns out to be. You have your, your publish date, your authors, all of that, and then again the categories. So when we assign a category, then we can feature a blog post of that category somewhere else within the site. So, if we made an outdoor adventure page and we checked on that page to show outdoor adventure blogs, then they would display there. So again, that's why we keep all the categories similar. And then the other thing I wanted to show you that's kind of cool about this editor is that you can manipulate the photos within the editor just by clicking and dragging. You can make links really easy, and we try and keep all of this very, very simple, very quick and easy. So I think that's pretty much all of the main areas. Oh, let me show you one more thing, the calendar of events, which with you guys, we might want to just consider still using Talkify since you have it up and running already. It might be easier since all of your events are in there, but we do have an event calendaring system. So you can create your own events. You can add them to an event category. You can put in all the information. And again, this changes based on the type of data that you guys want to create. We do have a way that you can allow users to submit their own events. The one reason why you might want to consider switching over to here is so that we could more easily integrate, like I was saying, the category events on pages. So for example, they have this upcoming event information here, and if you wanted to have certain upcoming events on the things to do page and kind of really help to engage users and move them around within the content, I don't think that Talkify can do that part. It can have just a really nice, beautiful event listing, which we could probably mirror, but if you use Talkify, then it would be harder for us to integrate the specific event category types on different pages. But we can talk more through that and come up with some sort of solution if you do decide that you want to keep using Talkify, because like I said, I just found it and I also like it very much. So anyways, back to our event system. You can put in all the information. People can upload and submit their own events, and then they display here after you have approved them. So this can really look any way. The design part is limitless. We can do whatever we need to do with that. And it's really that easy. Okay, so Let me know if that brought up any other questions, or you want me to make another video, or if we should just hop on the line real quick and go over any other questions you have. Okay, thanks very much and have a great Wednesday.